Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, and you can't see it behind me, but I'm actually in front of a kind of a busy alley. I thought I would take this video here for a change, just to have a different location and perhaps some different energy that comes into this video. But I want you to know that if you hear a little bit more noise, you might know why. So I will be, of course, checking this video after and seeing if it's at least audible for you to hear what I'm speaking. Today I want to talk about trust again, and I want to talk very much about how trust is affecting our professional lives. So whatever profession we're doing and how we interact with people on our day-to-day basis, whether personally or professionally, actually gives a bit of really good energy into the world, or it could bring in an energy that's not so useful for the world. So today I wanted to talk about trust and how it affects our professional lives. So the first quotation I want to speak about is by Sri Aurobindo, and it says, "In order to see, you have to stop being in the middle of the picture." In order to see, you have to stop being in the middle of the picture. Now, I remember years ago, I believe it was during my training in problem-based learning at McMaster University, that we were very clear about not being at the head of the boardroom table, that everyone is equal, that we could all sit anywhere, that it wouldn't be just the facilitator or the teacher or the instructor that would sit at that spot. Or there would be round tables in offices so that people could all sit around, and again, the same feeling of this equal energy. And I thought that when we were looking at it this way, we can see that we've kind of shifted again. So you know that my videos have me at the center, and it's so that you know that I'm sharing this with you. Yet really, our connection is beyond what you're seeing right now. Now, can we do this in our experiences with people regarding trust? So when I am looking at someone, and usually even when I ask someone, could you do this? It's usually with a bit of trust in more than them. So let's say I ask for something simple of, can you print this for me? I would trust that there's a place to print whatever I want to get printed, that the printer is working, that there's ink, that there's paper, that there's someone that can provide all of these things, or some place that can provide all of these things. So trust goes beyond the person that I'm asking, because let's say the coffee shop is closed. So whatever place that I wanted things to get printed at is not open, and I've asked someone to go to that store to print something for me. What happens is my trust extends to that awareness of that person would know to go to another store. Now, you know, sometimes in workplaces, this doesn't happen, where it's, well, this is where they told me to go and it's closed, and so I'll just go back and let them know it was closed. And it's really interesting to see how much we push ourselves to follow through on something someone has trusted us with. And this is something that it's become a habit for a lot of people, even personally, that, oh yeah, I was going to do that, and I know you wanted me to do that, but I couldn't, there wasn't enough hours. There's so many excuses that people have. I didn't think you'd remember can be an excuse. And of course that extends into the professional world too. And so how honorable is our trustworthiness? And then when we're trusting someone, are we trusting with a full heart, or is there background energy which is thinking, well, you know what, I don't really think that they're going to do this. They haven't finished the last 3 tasks I've asked them to do, so I don't really trust that they're going to do this. And you know, again, this whole idea of trust being so central, many times we're aware of it in terms of a very significant relationship. So children can trust their parents often, yet not always. And then parents can trust their children often, but not always. And then the boss can trust the employees often, but not always. And it's not even one specific employee can be trusted, although that's sometimes the halo effect that gets created after someone has been trusted to something. It's also the energy that is shared with a person of, I trust you will do this. I have no doubt that you'll be able to do this. So I remember when I was offered the position of being able to travel across the country in Canada to do some interviews and do some, I guess, lectures at universities, the dean that asked me said it like that I know you can do this. Do you want to do this? This is your mission, should you choose to accept. He actually used those words. And it was so nice to feel that full trust in me. And even in terms of booking hotels, it was just, there was a trust of, I know you'll go to the right places, you've got this much for your meal allowance, this is how much you've got for getting to your place through cabs. It was so easy. And again, even, I guess the cab fund wasn't even specific. It was literally take a cab from the airport to the hotels that you're going to. And I would always take the longer route, the scenic route, because that was the only time that I would be able to actually see the city that I was arriving to. So I didn't want to do the shortest route. And I remember asking, is that okay? And they said, you do whatever you want, we trust you. And that was so beautiful to hear from 3 different deans that I had, and so my 3 bosses at the time, and to hear that felt fantastic. Now, do we do that with people today? Now, I feel that trust is in this kind of shaky zone, and not only are we not feeling trusted, but are we giving trust? And when we give trust, can we give it with the fullness of our heart, that I trust this is going to happen? Most people are already creating kind of the backup of, well, and if it doesn't happen, then this, or I don't really expect it'll be done. It's the back of the mind, and unless we are training ourselves and practicing to be mindful about how is this mind thinking, what is the energy that I'm sharing in the interaction I have, personally or professionally, and then how is that being received? I'm just assessing, I'm just observing, and then do I modify the other person who's receiving it? Do I modify myself? Because I believe that trust begins with ourselves, that I would love for every person to know that I want you to be able to trust me. And so what do I do? So if I'm not perfect, which means that there's something that I might have wanted to do for you and I couldn't do it, your trust is brought down a little bit with me. But I need to work just a little bit harder the next time to show you that, look, I'm following through. Because a lot of people, once they feel that trust has been shaken up, they don't try as hard anymore. And you can watch for yourself whether you're trying as hard or even harder to prove that you are the same trustable, trustworthy energy, and that you can give someone that gift of trust too. So when you ask someone to do something and say, I trust you. So I remember even getting a ride to here. I trusted that the driver was going to finish an event that he had to finish before he was going to pick me up. I trusted he was going to be there. And then I didn't want it to be a pressure for him because he was actually at an event. And so I trusted he would be there. I thought I should text him to let him know that I can walk to the next location. And as I was thinking this and even contemplating just taking a screenshot of the distance I'm going to walk to my next homestay, I can tell you that my driver showed up. And man, let me tell you, that's really a reflection of the trustworthiness of him as well as my trust in him. So it goes both ways, and we can play a role in doing this, in both being able to give trustfully and being trustworthy fully. So today, I thought I would share also this quotation, since I'm focusing specifically on teams today and professions. And remember that even a family is a team, even a small community is a team, even a village is a team, but even 2 people can be a team. So this says, a team is not a group of people that work together. A team is a group of people that trust each other. So in case there was too much noise, I'm going to read that one more time. A team is not a group of people that work together. A team is a group of people that trust each other. Now imagine that. Now, you know, a lot of times in extended families, and I will say even small families, trust can be shaken. And so are people working to show, you can trust me, I'm here for you? Because a lot of times one time a person does that much energy and then it's like, okay, so you know that, right? I covered that. It's not that consistent work. And remember the last video that I mentioned this in is trust is moment to moment. And so are we all working to gain and build and a trust in the moment to be trustworthy and trusting? Huge benefits to ourselves and the world around us. And I wanted to finish with this one quotation to make you reflect, or encourage you to reflect on this idea. It says, when someone has to ask for it, when someone has to ask for it, they have already lost it. Trust is funny that way. When someone has to ask for it, they've already lost it. Trust is funny that way. So this is interesting because sometimes we know that it doesn't feel like someone trusts me with something. And I remember I was recently invited to take this bus ride with us. We're going to such and such place. And I was like, really? I can? Now by this time I had heard many lies, and I was so excited that I can do that. And there was a hesitation. And there was okay, yeah, maybe. And as soon as I heard that, I knew that that trust is already lost. So I have lost that trust, because if the person is trying to see that, oh, does she trust me that I will follow through on this, and am I going to follow through on this? It's shaking us on both sides. Even if we say, do you love me? And you know, in relationships, lots of people do this. And do you love me? Now, if I've married someone and I'm asking this question, do you love me? You can feel that trust is already lost. It's not really fully there. And what would be wonderful when you're hearing those sorts of energies, like, do you trust me or do you not trust me? Prove it, prove it, prove it. And again, it's just because today is different than yesterday. This afternoon is different than this morning. Tomorrow will be different than today. But in this moment, prove it. If you are saying the words that I love you, and a person says, do you? Show it. Show it in actions. Show it in repeated expressions. Show it in the understanding of the person you have. And you know, love is used a lot these days in terms of I love you. So I hear this in businesses quite a bit too. I love you when you finish this job, whatever you're doing. And it's, again, it could be photocopying. It's like, oh, I love you because you finished that and it's so important to me. Can we understand how love is freely given? It's not because someone does something, it's because that's who we are. Trust is who we are. And again, it's moment to moment. Today, I recommend that you focus on this moment to moment awareness. I wish you a fantastic day or night ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone. I'm sorry for the noise. I will find a quieter spot for the next video. Have a great day.